What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be going over a rookie mock draft 1.0, going off a recent mock draft for the NFL. It's a 3-round mock draft that gave us some landing spots that I thought were super fun. And I'd love to throw those into kind of my rookie rankings that I've been working on and see how that affects kind of the first 16 picks of a Dynasty Superflex mock draft. If you haven't been to the channel before, please subscribe to the channel and definitely comment, subscribe. I will respond to everyone. Ask me a question, anything like that. I want to connect with you guys, and I really appreciate you hopping on the channel. So I'm going to try something new today. It's going to be a little difficult, but we're going to do a sleeper mock draft, probably round one, a couple picks into round two, with some landing spots from a recent mock draft. Now, the mock draft is going to be from the Athletics, Nick Baumgardner, and I'm just going to go over some of these landing spots real quick. And then if you need to go back to this point in the video to kind of double check them, feel free. I'll also link the article down in the description. So Caleb Williams going to the Bears, Drake Maye to the Commanders, Jaden Daniels to the Patriots, McCarthy to the Vikings. Those are the four main quarterbacks we got going. Then it starts getting a little spicy here. Marvin Harrison to the Falcons, Nabers to the Bears, Odunze to the Titans. Those are three spots that are not being projected super much. The Bears are being projected to take one, but the other spots are definitely a little interesting here. Bowers to the Giants, Bo Nix to the Broncos, Brian Thomas Jr. to the Cardinals. Instead of Marvin Harrison, looks like they have them trading out here. Adonai Mitchell to the Bills. That one could rise up a bunch. Same with Lad McConkey to the Chiefs, Xavier Worthy to the Panthers. I love those three spots. Some targets for sure that could be aware. And Keon Coleman to the Chargers, man. I wouldn't say I'm a big Keon Coleman fan, but you put him with Justin Herbert, and I may be interested. Michael Penix to the Raiders here in the second round. Jatavian Sanders to the Colts. Good fit, good need. Roman Wilson to the Steelers. I really like that, filling in for Deontay Johnson there. Ricky Purcell to the Ravens. That's an interesting one. Troy Franklin to the Jets. That one could be super spicy. And the only running back going in the first 3 rounds of this guy's mock draft, we got Jonathan Brooks going to the Cowboys. So feel free to screenshot this, go back, pause the video, rewind if you want to check out some of these landing spots. But that's what I'm going to be going off of for the draft today. We're going to do Superflex 1.0 rookie mock draft. So if I'm on the board here at 1-1, I'm not going to overthink this one, right? I still have, really, no matter what happens here, it's going to be Caleb Williams here at 1-1 in this mock draft. Now, 2 for me, I understand wanting to go quarterback, but for me, it's definitely Marvin Harrison. Now, the Falcons landing spot makes this interesting because he's having to compete with Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson. But I just think Marvin Harrison is one of those guys that I will be probably just drafting him at 2, no matter the landing spot. And I'm really just not afraid here to take the chance on it and just want that talent on my team. So I'm going to go Marvin Harrison here at pick 2. Now, 3 gets very, very interesting here. With the quarterbacks going 1, 2, 3, 4, it makes me kind of want to start looking back at quarterback, but I still have Nabers up there as my 1-3 in a super flex draft. And I don't actually think the Bears landing spot is as bad as people are saying for one of these rookies. I think for me, I'm imagining that maybe Keenan Allen probably leaves after next year, and Nabers gets paired with Caleb Williams on the Bears as the future of that wide receiver core along with DJ Moore. I think that works out pretty great. I mean, if we're going to have Caleb so high, I don't really see why we would be afraid of their wide receiver, just because maybe he'll kind of have a challenge for targets in year 1. Now I think it's time to go to the quarterbacks here at 4. And for me, that's going to be Jaden Daniels first off the board. I just love the rushing upside. Now, the Patriots are not my preferred landing spot. I would love for him to go to the Commanders instead. I just think Kingsbury makes a little more sense. He worked with Kyler Murray, got the upside out of Kyler. But I think Daniels on the Patriots, he still has the upside with his legs. And I'm going to follow that up with 1-6, and I'm going to go Drake Maye if he's going to the Commanders. I love that landing spot. Now, I kind of want to go another quarterback here. I think J.J. McCarthy is the Vikings is a very interesting spot. I think the Vikings might be the safest QB landing spot that we're working with here, just due to the fact that oh my God, I messed this up. I just think that J.J. McCarthy to the Vikings is an interesting one. And I think I would be willing to take him here because I trust McConnell. And I think that safety in a super flex league of getting a starting quarterback for the next couple years is something that I would still be very, very interested in. Now here, down at 1-7 with these specific landing spots, Bowers to the Giants, Odunze to the Titans. I think I would tend to lean Rome Odunze here and just the wideout. Now, tight end premium, I think Bowers probably going to get bumped up, and I understand taking him here. But for me, Rome Odunze to the Titans, I know he's going to be kind of pushed down in that wide receiver core, Hopkins, Ridley. But for all we know, Rome Odunze is the best wide receiver of that group. And especially in the years to come, he's going to be the young one. He's going to be the one that sticks around. And let's see what happens coming forward. But I would go back to Brock Bowers next year at 1-8 if this is kind of how it plays out. I think the Giants are a fine landing spot, basically just because they have no weapon. So I think Bowers kind of slots in as their number one weapon, right? Saquon gone, no wide receivers that you're really too scared of here. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting. I think Brian Thomas, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell all got pretty good landing spots in this video. Brian Thomas to the Cardinals, Adonai Mitchell to the Bills, Mitchell to the Panthers, and then let's throw in Lad McConkey here, go to the Chiefs. So if this is kind of how it plays out, and I'm on the clock here at 1-9, I think I'm just going to go with the guy that is going to the Bills because I think that the situation is the best. And right now, I don't have these guys so many tiers apart from each other that I think I would be comfortable taking Mitchell if he's the guy that goes to the Bills, just because they don't really have an X wide receiver on the roster. They have Samuel, they have Shakir. I think Dalton Kincaid is going to be amazing, and I really love him, but he's not in the wide receiver core. He is a tight end. So up here at 110, I think it's going to be very interesting. I think for me, I'm starting to maybe look at Jonathan Brooks as the first running back off the board. But I think Arizona Cardinals is a very good landing spot for a wide receiver. We kind of think that it might be Marvin Harrison up there at number 4. But in this scenario, they're trading back. Brian Thomas falls to them still in the first round. So I'm going to be pretty comfy taking him there. Now I think next, I think I am going to start to go running back here. And I think Jonathan Brooks, if he goes to the Cowboys, I've kind of been saying that I think Jonathan Brooks or Trey Benson, if one of them goes to the Cowboys, I think I'm going to be very interested in that spot. And I imagine he sneaks into the first round of Dynasty rookie drafts, just because these teams later in the round, if they own their own picks, they were in the semis, they were in the finals, they won their league. And getting a guy on that 2 to 3 year window as a running back on a great landing spot like the Cowboys, I think is going to be something very, very valuable to hear. So now it's kind of get the tiebreaker. We got Worthy going to the Panthers, McConkey to the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the guy on the better offense, and I think I'm going to take McConkey here. I do like him as a player. I may not be as super high as some, but this is, I think, about the spot he goes if he gets a decent landing spot. So I think McConkey's a good one here. All the way over here now at 2-1, I do think Xavier Worthy and Troy Franklin are kind of the guys I'm starting to look at here. So I'm just going to do a couple picks in the second, and I'm going to go more rapid fire here. So I think between these two, I think I would take Worthy. He gets better capital in this draft. And if that's the case, I kind of like going with some of the draft capital when it comes down to some of these wide receivers as a tiebreaker. But in this draft, I like the landing spot for Franklin and Penix. Penix going to the Raiders, I think he has a chance to start. I actually kind of like Penix if he ends up somewhere with some weapons. And I think Michael Mayer, I think Devontae Adams, I think Jacoby Myers, all very good weapons. So I would be comfortable taking Penix here. And then to finish off, I'm going to do 2 more here. I think I'm actually going to reach here and get someone that's not necessarily that high on my board, but landing spots sometimes can dictate that, and that's going to be Keon Coleman. If he goes to the Chargers, I'm going to trust in that offense and trust that they're drafting him. And to finish this out at 2-5, I'm not going to finish the second round off. I'm going to try to keep this close. And also, I think this is where I would start kind of looking at Benson, but we didn't get a landing spot for Benson in that latest article that I kind of was referencing. So I'm going to go Troy Franklin here. I think Troy Franklin to the Jets really isn't that bad. I think it's very interesting. So just to kind of run this down with landing spots, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Nabers, Jaden Daniels, Drake Maye, J.J. McCarthy, Rome Odunze, Brock Bowers, Adonai Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr., Jonathan Brooks, Lad McConkey, Xavier Worthy, Penix, Coleman, Franklin, and I did take, it's covered up here, so it's confusing, but I did take Penix, and this one got bumped down to 2-5. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was kind of figuring out how to do this kind of episode, so thank you for working with me. I'll get better at kind of doing sleeper and talking at the same time. It was a little harder than I imagined, but thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this kind of episode, please let me know in the comments, like the video. And if you have a chance, subscribe, comment, subscribe below, and let me know that you're subscribed. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I really appreciate it.